Broadcasting the boisterous part of the fastest game in the world. So strap on your lids and lace them up, Rook. You're listening to the BarnChirpers Hockey Podcast. Take a lap.
Clap it up, boys.
Hey.
Looky what we got here. We've got a
What's
full house.
happening, team? How are we doing? What's everybody
the
feel
barn is
rested
full.
up?
Yes. I know. It's nice. It's a BarnChirpers first.
Yeah,
Full squad on deck. And, well, some people are wearing hockey-related gear, but that's
I'm wearing
okay.
soccer.
No worries.
Yeah, I came wearing horror movies today.
That's okay. That's
He
right.
wears a
You'll
hockey
bring
mask,
your
though.
Philly flair to the show, and everybody will know that you're a Philly fan.
That's right. But he does wear a hockey mask when he murders folks.
That's true.
He sure does. That's
and
that's
let me take this moment to remind folks.
PG.
Let's keep it
PG.
PG.
You can follow
PG,
us at
folks.
BarnChirpers Pod on the Instagrams. You can chirp at us if you think. Listen to a past episode on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, iTunes. Subscribe to us, like us, share us. Give us a 5-star. That'd be great. We can get to the top of the list of all hockey podcasts because we love that. We can show our Norfolk Admirals and maybe your Norfolk Admirals that we're an awesome hockey podcast. Shout out to the Norfolk Admirals.
Hey,
We love the Norfolk Admirals. And Joe, let's get the first line out there on the ice and see what's up. Last year, your beloved BarnChirpers, before they were the BarnChirpers, you're wearing the Preds hat.
Little cats, yeah, mustard cats.
We went all the way out to Nashville, and it was the hockey roadie that took us 2 years to accomplish. But it happened, and we all had a absolute blast.
yes.
And ever since, our love for hockey has grown. So it's like, well, we got to do it again, don't we, folks?
Oh, we have
Oh, yeah.
to.
Oh,
It's got to be a
definitely.
yearly thing,
Right.
at least.
So the season release came out at this point almost a month ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, I guess.
Yep.
Well, let's take a look at where the heck the roadie's going this year.
I mean, we kind of narrowed it down a little bit, didn't we?
So I think this is the roadie, and we can decide whether this is absolutely, but this is the front runner. I think it was Saturday in Columbus. I can't remember who they're playing.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but we want to go to Columbus. And the following day in Buffalo, the Colorado Avalanche are going to be in town. So we all wanted to go to Buffalo regardless. That was a spot.
Mm.
So we were trying to figure out, is there a way to do Buffalo and Columbus? And well, lo and behold, there is. So it turns out what? I think that the Avs Sabres game is Sunday at 1.
Yeah, afternoon puck drop. Yeah.
Matinee.
Yeah. And so then it's a 9-hour drive home, which stinks, but at least we would be out of the game early and be able to come straight home.
Right.
So I wanted to put this out here because I put the Columbus Blue Jackets logo on the thumbnail for this because
Nice.
I'm going to fight hard for this road trip because I want to go to Columbus's barn. They stunk last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they stuck
And
for a couple of years.
Basically
But,
for
yeah.
their whole existence.
Pretty much. But like
no, they swept the Tampa Bay Lightning that one year.
That's true.
that one year. But
Torts.
because of last year's trip out to Nashville, before we went to Nashville, both Corey and I were like, why the hell does Nashville have a hockey team?
Yes. And I mean, it sold us.
Yeah.
Now we're like pseudo Preds fans.
Right, exactly. So I doubt that happens by going to Columbus, but I want to
You
see
never
the
know.
deal.
You never know.
That's Columbus is the one team where we were like, I could see this happening, the Nashville thing happening with any team except Columbus. They were like the asterisk, like, I don't think they'd be able to turn it. So I'm in favor. I'm not super thrilled with Ohio as a place that exists.
Oh,
Agreed.
here we go.
I mean, I'm with it, man. It's the same amount of time as Nashville was, so it's not super far out of the way.
Yeah, plus
I'm
you can
with
go
it.
see your boy Provorov.
Yeah, exactly.
My
dude.
guy Sivo's there. You know, at least I can go see Sivo. He's got a new number too.
I mean, I do love me some Johnny Hockey, so I'm all about going to see Johnny
Yeah,
Hockey.
he should have been a Flyer, but I digress. Thanks, Chuck Fletcher. But I mean, they've made moves, man. So
we could secretly be going to see like a good hockey club.
yeah,
Like they've made some moves. So, I mean, Columbus. Obviously, you're trying to hit every barn, Joe. So, I mean, I know you're not going to have, you know, a strike against Columbus, but like, where is Columbus on your ranking? Like, is it just when I can get there?
No, I mean, like Columbus, I would say, so like just in the sense of planning trips, right? So that's the easiest way to put it. So it wasn't necessarily top of the list or bottom of the list. It was more so like, okay, well, Columbus is kind of a hub around. I could, in theory, if I was to go to Columbus, and I'd also probably go to either Chicago or I'd go home to Minnesota because I haven't been to the XL Energy Center to see a Wild game.
I want to go there.
me too.
Also in that same area is Detroit. So like there's 4 spots. If I was to, when I was thinking about this barn journey of if I go to Columbus, then I'm also going to go to one of those other places too, because it's so close. But in this case, we're talking about a roadie. Like, yeah, I mean, same thing. I mean, if we're going there, it's a place I want to go to. And yeah, I don't necessarily have it as like I have to go there right now, next trip.
North Columbus.
And it's and it's also not like a I won't go there. It's I'm here for it. So, and I think Buffalo too, because obviously I
really
love Tage Thompson. So I'm all about if we can squeeze in Buffalo too. It makes sense to me since we're going to kind of wrap it up. Since I just took 2 minutes to say all that. Anytime that I go see a barn, I want to try to get at least 2 in, because if I'm making a trip, it makes the most sense to try to get two in.
Yeah, you like more than one at a time.
I sure do. Yeah, I love that double show. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, as somebody who isn't as entrenched in hockey as we are, V, like when we say Columbus, what are your thoughts initially?
Well, pause. Actually, V does have Kraken hair going on right now. So
I was going to say, I didn't want to
repping the squad. He's repping the squad.
Spiel, but I'm trying to rep the squad somehow.
Yeah, no, you're doing
and
it
I got
great.
one on my arm too. Got a Kraken right here, so you know it's not the Kraken colors, but it's a squid.
Yeah.
But honestly, Columbus, I don't really see them as a hockey town kind of sound. Yeah, so I just kind of because. The Preds, what really got it for me was how much the fans were involved.
Yeah.
That was like a big part of it. And like, I don't see that for Columbus. So I'm kind of.
Who's going to be there? Tim McGraw, too.
Yeah, I know. Like,
what
the hell's happening?
Man?
Like, if it's Cleveland, you can work.
Drew Carey.
You can do Drew Carey. You can do the Miz. Like, there's plenty of famous people. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there. So you can literally dip into any form of rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Columbus is also, I mean, that's where Ohio State is.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm probably
that's true.
I'm gonna show up decked out in Penn State shit stuff.
Going to a hockey game in Penn State clothes.
Yeah, because
So you just want things to actively.
I'm not a fan of the Buckeyes. Okay. I mean, we can get some Skyline chili while we're there.
That is true. It is good chili.
Bathroom nearby at all times.
Okay.
Well, I think the thing that sold me the most is we figured if we left, because the game is Saturday, so if we left Friday as our travel day, and we would be able to travel. We discussed staying in Cincinnati. One of the 4 of us may have family there. That we might be able to stay with.
Ambiguous.
But then it's like hop, skip, and a jump, essentially 2 hours to Columbus, go see the game, and then bounce immediately after the game to Buffalo, which is 5-hour drive.
Right.
Be able to sleep in Buffalo, get up, afternoon game, and then bounce home. Yeah,
it wouldn't be as crammed as Nashville was.
Right.
You know, it's still a lot of traveling, but even though it's still essentially less than 10 hours down, 10 hours back to Nashville.
Right.
Yeah.
And Nashville was like basically go, go, go. We drove out to Nashville basically just in time to go to the arena. And then we're at the game for 3 hours. And then we went and got food, ate food, and then passed out in the hotel room, got up and came home.
Hit the road again. Yeah. And maybe next time the same idiot won't drive the whole time, basically. I think that would probably make it easier on everybody.
Maybe let an attractive Minnesotian.
Maybe not bend up like a pretzel in the back seat. That's what you get for being a hot and shaped guy out of everybody.
I will say this though.
I mean, I did call it, so like it's kind of on me.
Dang. So you went through the dibs.
Well, see. Can we talk for a minute, though, just as a sidebar on Nashville? I don't know if you noticed, Joe, but when we stopped to fuel up, and I believe Knoxville, there was when you were doing your Pilates at the gas pump.
Stretching?
Yeah. And you were mixing up your stuff, your bevy. There was a soccer mom that was... She had it out for you, friend.
Yeah, you told me this story.
I did? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I will say this.
Everywhere I go, I get phone numbers. What can I do? I went to a concert. I went to a concert the other day, and somebody gave me their number.
Did you call?
Well, yeah, but
we went to Charlotte a couple weeks ago to see Blink-182. More on that on our other podcast. Reckless Abandons podcast. But
follow us at BarnChirpers Pod for all things hockey.
Yes. But I will say, Joe, quite the aggressive driver.
Yeah.
So if you want to get there fast,
yes,
I'll do it.
Just saying.
I might blow out the engine too.
You may end up in the middle of Carolina somewhere for like a 30 to 40 minutes.
It's fine. We made it back.
These are a lot of what ifs, guys. Very specific what ifs here.
Just saying.
So I don't know. Like there's definitely been I want Columbus to happen this season for the reasons aforementioned reasons, because I want to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
Like I already feel like, without even having to go to Vegas, though I want to go to Vegas's barn, that I've been proven wrong about Vegas.
Sure.
Because the quality of the club that they keep putting on the ice, they won the cup, and the fans show out.
Right.
So I feel like I've been proven wrong about Vegas having a team.
Mm-hmm.
Got proven wrong about Nashville by going and seeing it in person.
Right.
Buffalo is just because I want to go there.
Yeah, it's Buffalo.
But
Savers are cool and food.
But Columbus is one that I still just can't get my head around. Why do they still have a team?
It's like a please explain on the program.
Right.
And I think that's kind of one of the cool things with doing these roadies is that for markets that we've questioned for years, like Nashville
or Atlanta,
right.
Well,
if that
you notice they
again,
don't have a team. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like
if they try it for a third time, then
third time's the charm.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's like, let's see if that works too. But you get a better vibe for it. And ultimately, it's like nobody wants to be that douche that's like, yeah, no, this team sucks and they're pointless. Move them. It was good to be convinced otherwise on Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So you hope for the same when you go to Columbus, that maybe it's just bias of like, okay, they haven't done anything in years and they haven't really had anybody, and you hope to have the experience and see what the barn's like.
So some of the other ideas I had, I haven't been able to find the games to make it happen, but I want to go to the Rock. Obviously, I'm a Devs fan. Mm-hmm. Those tickets are expensive, but both New York teams are like literally a hop, skip, and a jump from the Rock.
Yeah.
Like,
if you're already going there, you kind of, even if the schedule worked out, like you kind of have to go to Jersey, Rangers, and Isles.
Exactly. Like, how cool would that be to be able to go to all three in a weekend? That would be awesome.
That would be sweet.
Check 3 barns off in one weekend. That would be cool. And plus, that would include going to MSG, which none of us, we all hate the Rags here, except for probably V, but we'll get you. You will hate the Rags at some point.
But it's MSG.
I'm a Penguins fan, so like.
How dare you?
Number one, but it's MSG, and like when you look around the league, like it's one of the oldest arenas left.
Yep.
So.
Oh wow.
So definitely somewhere I want to go. But like you look around where we are, there is like I can make a Hurricanes trip happen anytime during the year. Like that doesn't have to be a roadie. I can do that. I want to go to Cap One. You know, I don't care how bad the Caps are this year, Joe.
Hey, come on.
But I want to go and see a hockey game there because we saw Blink-182 there. It was a fun experience, but I'd like to see a hockey game there now.
Yeah.
So like those two, like 3 hours, that can happen.
Even Philly,
basically whenever. Philly's what, 6 hours?
No,
yeah, 5.
Not even. Yeah, 5 hours if you go up the East Coast.
We could do that in a day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's easy.
So like I definitely want to hit up. I definitely want to go to Wells Fargo. I've never been.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to, and you know, you guys will be cheeks this year. So like, why not? Like, probably
go while tickets are cheap.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you know, you never know who's in town. You know, you might end up seeing a good hockey game.
Exactly.
Like we did.
Yep.
So.
And probably a riot either way.
Yeah, exactly. And Gritty's always there.
But like anything past that is a hike for us. So like, I definitely want to go to TD Garden. I'd like to go see the I hate the bees, but I'd like to go, you know.
The Garden.
Would you ever go to see the Penguins?
Absolutely. I love being the guy in the visiting. Yes, absolutely.
Penguins barn is great.
It was a cool barn. I liked it when I went, but I think Yager was playing for us. So like,
so yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, so more on that as it develops, but like
but it seems like Columbus Buffalo is the
right, because that checks off a barn that we want to go to because interest, and a barn that we want to go to for excitement and good hockey.
Yeah.
And we're here for all of it. Yeah, that sounds like that's the front runners for the roadie 2.0. Easy for me to say. Jeez. And the other thing too is it doesn't necessarily have to be in February. Again, we could do it. It could be preseason. Like I don't care.
Right. I think both those games were somewhere in November or December, maybe January. I can't remember.
Okay.
But like that one wasn't in February. I know that for a fact. I just can't remember where those were. So we'll have to look those dates up again.
Yeah, still a little ways away.
Right.
We'll definitely hammer it out far more in advance than 2 weeks before.
Yes.
That sounds like a legit,
Let's do that this time for real.
Save some money, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on hotel rooms.
Yes.
Shall we
maybe we'll get 3 beds this time.
Poor Joe, the entire trip in the back, and then he goes, "I'll take the couch."
Yeah.
And like, what are we gonna do? Talk him out of taking the couch?
I mean, you could have slept with Corey. I mean,
gladly.
I mean,
I'm very cuddly.
But he gets up and he's like, "I regret calling the couch."
Yeah.
And then he had to jam himself back in the back of the minivan again.
Okay, well, the couch actually wasn't too bad. Is that you guys left the TV on all night?
I passed out at 8, man. So
yeah, it didn't take long. I'm sorry that I sleep better with the television on. Billy Joel, I sleep good with the TV on, dude. You don't?
No, I sleep with white noise on.
his white noise is the TV, I guess. Is what he's saying.
You sleep in like dead silence?
No, it's like a fan.
No, it's like a fan. I sleep with a fan. It's
Oh,
essentially
okay.
a fan,
Yeah.
the noise of a fan. I don't sleep in dead silence, but I sleep to a sound that is constant. It doesn't change. There's also not light flickering because that's blue light, Corey, coming from the TV, which actually doesn't help you sleep better. So that's a lie, but that's a whole other podcast.
yeah, that's a whole other thing. We'll have a wellness pod.
Yes.
I'm sure all of us are well.
Not this guy.
So Joe, do you want to go on the penalty kill here?
Yeah, let's change them up. Change them up here. So I think it's the off season right now, so not a lot of there has been a lot. If I can talk today, I do podcast often. There's been a lot that has happened. A lot of guys have signed in the off season. Free agency opened on July 1st. There was a lot that happened. We're not going to cover all of that. We'll talk more about big signings as the season actually gets ready to kick up. But I thought it'd be fun to Sportsnet put out this unsigned, unrestricted free agents list. This was a little while ago, actually, a couple weeks ago, maybe. These guys are still unsigned. And I thought it'd be cool to kind of go down the list of these guys and pick give a prediction of where we think they're going to sign. And maybe if you feel like throwing out a contract like that, those are tough though. But I think it'd be fun to talk about the big unsigned UFAs.
So I don't know if you guys got the alert before this gets delved into. Tarasenko to Ottawa.
Really?
1 year
This
deal.
just happened?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
It's confirmed.
6 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
right?
Tarasenko is a send.
Oh, thank God.
Wow.
Hooray. I know. I like that.
Wow, look at that.
Dude, that's a big upgrade because last we talked was right after Kitty Cat forced his way into Detroit.
I mean, that was going to be the guy that was going to start with the list. Is Vladdy Tarasenko. Okay.
I'm
off the market.
Good because the rumor mill had him in Carolina. And I was not looking forward to Tarasenko, Bunting, Aho.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Carolina's probably done with their big signings now at this point. That's a whole other thing. But all right, cool.
Probably.
So, I mean, Tarasenko's. I mean, okay, he'll probably be a third line guy in Ottawa. Probably second or third line guy. I mean, he's not going to score 40 goals anymore. He's done it once. He's probably. I think he got 21 points last season. So, he's not going to put up big points, but he's a valuable piece. He's won a Stanley Cup before. So,
yeah.
And I think, he'll do a good veteran presence around that young team. So good for them.
I think it's a good signing because.
Did you see what the hit was? What was the contract?
$6 million, I think I saw. Yeah. I think that's what it was.
1 year,
huh?
1 year, $6 million. I think it's because you lose DeBrincat, who clearly didn't want to be there. DeBrincat, at worst, you're replacing DeBrincat's production.
Right.
Is the way to look at it.
Yeah.
And you get a guy who he signed up 1 year.
But
yeah, maybe possibly. But
potential. I mean, potential if he's healthy, Tarasenko.
But the thing I was trying to get at is he wants to be there, obviously, because he signed the contract.
Yep.
Correct.
I guess DeBrincat technically wanted to be there too, but he wanted out of there.
He wanted more money in a longer term.
Yeah. So
or a shorter term.
So 1 year, $6 million, it's worth rolling the dice on Tarasenko to replace DeBrincat, even though, as you mentioned, he's probably a third line guy, not top line like DeBrincat. So,
but veteran presence. It's always good to have on a young team. So
sure.
All right, so let's talk about Matt Dumba. Defenseman, was on the Wild for a lot of years. Previous cap hit of $6 million. So he's probably going to want to get paid. Probably going to want to cash in. Where's he go? How much is he making?
It's going to be weird to see him not wearing a Wild sweater.
Yeah.
I mean, they might still sign him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who needs some defensemen. I mean, be great if Washington could sign him.
I know, right? You guys are in rebuild, though. Like I think you guys.
They're not going to sign.
I think you guys are selling everybody but Ovi.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to, because that was my first thought too. Was just purely aesthetically, I'd like him as a Flyer, but
no chance you guys are
why? Yeah,
you guys don't stand. Like I could see, like if Washington can stay healthy, signing a Dumba can get you maybe into the playoffs if everybody stays healthy, maybe possibly. But watching Carlson these last couple years, he's out like every couple months for months at a time. Ovi still has years left in him, but like how many?
Right.
Well, at least 4, because he signed his contract for 5 years, so he's got at least 4 left.
Well, so there's that. But yeah. So who else needs D? Who else plays defense like that?
I'm trying to. I mean, the first thought that came to my head is Vancouver could use a guy like Dumba. I don't know what their cap situation is, but man, off the top of my head, Arizona. I'm just kidding. I think probably the Wild would try to re-sign him though. I feel like because they lost who they just lose. They lost Klingberg.
Yeah.
So
you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Edmonton goes out and gets him.
Okay.
I don't know why,
sense.
but I feel like Edmonton finally needs to do the thing. They need to get a goalie need to shore up that blue line. I'm going to go Edmonton. This could be the year Edmonton finally makes the moves that they need to, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, I like that.
I think he's all right. My pick would be I think he's either going to stay in Minnesota or either Vancouver or Tampa is going to sign him.
Oh, please don't.
So I'm going to say Vancouver. I'm going to say Vancouver though. I'm going to say he's going to Vancouver. That's what I'm saying.
Any final prediction, Corey?
I hate how much sense Tampa makes.
Yeah.
And see, this is what sucks is because I did not pay like the most attention to hockey last year.
Interesting, because you run a fantasy hockey league.
Yeah, I know, but my life's been a train wreck for the past like 6 months. So is my hockey team.
6 months have been a train wreck for like 10 years, bud.
Yeah, a very good point.
Hey, you didn't hear? Now they have a new GM. We're good.
Yeah, Danny Briere's been killing it, dude.
Going to the Stanley Cup.
That's the new Howie Roseman in the City of Brotherly Love. Yeah, I'll co-sign Tampa and Edmonton because Edmonton was big and they were in on Proby too.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh, so they're used to making bad decisions. So.
Exactly.
Do you want to go out and make a call? What do you think, V?
The Kraken. No, actually, honestly, that'd be odd if they sign. They have some money to spend, so
yeah.
I was actually gonna say the Oilers.
Edmonton.
Hey, all right.
Just I don't know. I feel it. I feel it in the force.
Well, there you go.
Okay, there we go.
They need to do something.
They do. I think they need a netminder more than blue line, but to me, they need both.
Yeah.
So
if they're going to stay with Soup and Skinner, Dumba would help.
Mm-hmm. Well, Skinner had a good rook season, but like
he did, yeah.
You don't want...
he needs to go into a learning tree a little bit,
right?
Yeah.
And Soup is not a learning tree.
No.
Soup is a soup.
Yeah, exactly. You get what you get with him.
Exactly. Okay. Your boy Justin Tomas Tatar.
Man, I can't believe he's on this list, even though like I love the way he played for us last season. He's fat. He's deceptively fast. So like I could see him fitting into Carolina's lineup. If they're not done, they could get him for the cheap. You're looking at probably like a fourth line for him. Third, he might be able to eke in on the third line.
Sure. Yeah.
But who else plays fast like that? Los Angeles. I could see him playing in Los Angeles.
I mean, they just spent a bunch to get PLD.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah. What a signing.
But yeah, I mean, like an LA team, a Carolina team. He could end up going back to the Wings. They're a fast team.
Yeah.
And probably, I don't know. I mean, those, dang.
See,
what about the Sharks?
No? I don't know what they play because they're not very good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
But they just got Blackwood in net. They did just pick up somebody else too, didn't they?
They did.
I mean, Duclair's a Shark.
Duclair, yeah.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
And Anthony Duclair.
They had a good draft too, the Sharks.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna move back to speed. Because if they move to speed, sure, maybe you bring because they re-signed Zetterlund. They kept Zetterlund, so Zetterlund's pretty fast. But again, Zetterlund's like a fourth line guy if he even makes the club. My feel, I don't know what Anaheim's cap space looks like.
Yeah, I was just thinking Anaheim too.
But if they got the money. He's not going to cost a lot. So like he just costs more than the Devs are willing to pay him at this point for fourth line production.
I mean, yeah, he was making 4.5. So he's going to want to cash in a little bit.
Yeah. So if Anaheim's got the money, I think he ends up in Anaheim.
Yeah, I mean, Anaheim is like on the bottom of cap hit. Like they don't spend that much money.
Yeah.
So they have they
got a bunch of young dudes.
They have talk amongst yourselves, children, for a minute.
They just made a couple moves this offseason too. Gibson wants out, so like I don't know, like if you bring him.
Okay, today's cap hit is only $56.3 million, and the cap is 83.5. So they're on the bottom. Jesus. They have a lot. They have money to spend.
They got money to spend, and
but they do have Troy Terry and Trevor Zegras to sign. They're going to want to cash in.
Yeah.
And Jamie Drysdale, if they're going to re-sign him. So, but again, they have money to spend. So, like, if they could sign literally all those guys and still give Tatar, let's say six schmil, and still be well under, $65 million.
So I'm gonna go this. I think he fits in best in Carolina, but I'm glad that they're not spending money and that I don't have to see him on their fourth line.
I don't think it's going to be Carolina. But Carolina currently is at 82.6 million, so they only have about 400,000 to spend.
Oh wow, yeah. So that ain't happening. All right, well then I'm going to stick with my Anaheim pick. Let me see him as a Duck. Let me see what happens there.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're this is like a top 10 list, but I don't really think we need to go through them all. Two big names though. Number one, let's go. Patrick Kane. He had off-season hip surgery, so he's not even probably going to sign anything until at least September or beginning of the season, because he's not going to play until probably December.
Yeah.
But where do we think Patrick Kane is going to sign? I'm going to say he's definitely going to go to contender. He's not going to go play for
It's definitely going to be a contender.
He's either going to try to go to Vegas, or he's going to try to go to somewhere on the East.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Vegas. I mean, I could even see like a team like Seattle, because they're going to be relevant. They're going to have money to spend. I would hate seeing him in a Kraken sweater though, because that dude sucks. Seattle, Vegas.
I was going to say Colorado, but they are currently over the cap right now.
Are they really? They're still. They were listed like the third.
What about?
Yeah, they're in the negative right now.
Oh,
they need to clear up some space.
I mean, this would be like doubly gross, but what about the Pens? Because the Pens are, I mean, their window's closing.
Yeah, that is.
And I don't know what their cap space is, but I could see, them being like, hey, maybe this is the piece we need to stay relevant for, let's stress this thing out for one more year. I mean,
I totally get what you're saying. That would be, I think, would be top tier for them, but they currently are over by 2.9 million.
Yeah,
are they? Okay.
They made some moves. So I know they signed Gravy. They send my guy. I guess this begs the question, starting with, is he a Ranger? Does he stay with the Rags? The Rags seem to be going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
They haven't been making very many moves.
Rags have cap space. The Devs have cap space. Columbus has cap space.
God, if he ends up in Columbus.
Boston has cap space. Buffalo has cap space. I think that's a he's a Buffalo guy. So
no.
That's what I was just looking up, is where is he from?
Yeah, I would love to see him in a Sabres jersey. Give 1 year. They just barely missed the playoffs last season. Did. So get a guy like Patrick Kane on the roster. Ooh, I don't know, but maybe that's not enticing enough for him to go there just to make a run. Like he's going to want to go somewhere that has a chance to win.
Right.
You beat me to the punch, because I was going to look. I knew he was an American.
He could always go back to Chicago.
I mean, at this point,
play with Bedard.
Yeah, I hate that for so many reasons.
But it's possible.
It's possible because they are going to immediately be playoff contenders. I mean, you've seen the moves that they've made to bring in veterans to play with Bedard, and people are going to be. I mean, Kane was that guy for them not that long ago.
Yeah, and it would make sense for him to play that role for them on his way out. So I could see it as much as I wouldn't want to see
I
it.
can see it. I would love to see him in a Buffalo sweater though. That'd be cool for Buffalo. Not so much for him. I don't really care about him. But,
yeah, exactly.
It'd be cool for Buffalo, and by proxy, if that makes Buffalo a better team, and they make a playoff run, I'm here for it.
Right. What is Buffalo missing? Like they needed
a consistent goaltending, number one.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. 6K, Comrie, and whoever the kid was at the end of the year that came in.
Well, Craig was the tendy for him also for
here and there. That's right. So they kind of went through it. 6K got a good amount of starts, but I think he's still like a season away from being their guy.
Yeah,
if he's gonna be their guy,
that's like a Schmid situation.
Mm-hmm. So veteran, another veteran presence like Kane. If Patty Kane can give. Like not even this last season, the season before Patty Kane, then he could be exactly what they need.
Enough to put a team over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, get under little Tage Thompson under his learning tree, learn some things and turn him into a better player too.
Right.
My gut says though that he ends up in Vegas.
I would say Vegas, maybe Boston. Ugh.
Yeah. I hate that. Suck. God, I hate that.
But I mean, truly, yeah. I mean, teams with money, like I was saying, Vegas.
What about the Preds? It looks like they're low on the list of like using their cap space. I didn't know if they're.
Excuse me, Vegas is over right now, so he's probably not going to Vegas.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, there's still time, like to LTIR and all that stuff. So, like,
right. To answer your question, V, I don't think Nashville is close enough to getting back to the cup that I think.
Oh, so they're trying to make like obviously moves to.
They dealt off a lot of people right after we saw them.
Yep.
So they're on the up. They pushed for the playoffs last season, and chances are with the moves that they've made, they will probably get in. We didn't even bring up Nashville for Tatar. Like they're definitely going to be moving to a faster pace.
That's true. Yeah, Nashville. They got some money. So
yeah, and I mean they could be a wild card contender in the West for sure.
I mean they almost made the wild card with having AHL players. So
right.
Yeah.
And they got the new coach that our guy just went there, who he just played for.
Right.
So we're saying Patty Kane's going to go to a contender, obviously. Maybe Buffalo.
Yeah. I hate this, but I think it's since Vegas doesn't have the money. If Vegas has the money, he goes to Vegas. If not, he goes to Boston. I hate it, but that's to me, that's what makes the most sense. Like go to a front runner and third line.
It just popped up on the on Cap Friendly. Vladimir Tarasenko signs the Ottawa Senators 1 year, 5 schmil.
Oh, okay. It's 5. Okay.
All right.
Even better for the Sens.
Yeah.
The last one that I wanted to touch on, this is more so of like, does he or doesn't he? Johnny Taves, does he retire?
I'm surprised he didn't already make that decision. I'm surprised. I thought he had.
Yeah,
I thought he had too, but there isn't anything that I could find that was actually like
officially Al.
Yes. Yeah, I think because he hasn't yet, he's not going to. I think he's probably going to do. He's going to probably hang around and wait to get a call from a contender or somebody. I would think, or maybe he goes back to Chicago, to play with Bedard. Possibly, I wouldn't think so.
I think that one's probably the most unlikely.
Yeah,
considering they didn't sign him,
Oh yeah, that's true. That shows how much attention I've been paying to life. It'll contender, I would think.
If Kane ends up in Vegas, I see Taves in Boston.
Yeah, I don't know. I think both of you would be correct on that if he plays, but I think he's probably hanging him up. I think he's done.
I hope so, just because I thought he already had.
Yeah. So
because wasn't injuries kind of part of it? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, injuries, and then he's been battling I guess COVID really messed him up somehow in his internals. I don't know all the details of what he was struggling with, but he pretty much sat out this entire year.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
yeah, hang them up, man. You're good.
Yeah, if that's the case, then right off into the sunset, take your 3 cups.
Yeah.
Take your 3 cups and shove it. I mean, right
Maybe
into
he
the
doesn't want to
sunset.
unnumber,
Him and
guys.
Patty Kane.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't want to unnumber. He wants his 4th.
Oh no.
I mean,
That will not.
I wouldn't want to go out a loser.
That's true.
So,
They definitely were one of the worst teams in hockey this last year.
Yeah, they were cheeks.
So
But don't worry.
I mean, there's a couple other guys that need to be signed and stuff, but they're not really that important. As I talk on my hockey podcast, and they're making millions of dollars.
Yeah, right.
all right. So as we go out the door here, just quickly, there's still more signings to be had. Obviously, we just talked about a couple. So far to date, Joe, what's been the best signing of the offseason, do you think? Coaches or players?
Oh, that's a good one. You should have prepared me for that one so I could have done. You know what? I'm probably Well, I mean, the one that just happened, Ottawa, is pretty good for them. But overall, stall.
No, not that one. Not the one that signed.
He's a
Philadelphia.
Not that one. Yeah, screw those guys suck.
Yeah, they do.
You wanted? I'll ask Corey the same question, and we'll come back to you, so you can.
I feel like Provorov.
Oh Jesus,
Provy.
No.
Less. You know what? Actually, I'm going to say. So, I'm going to give you a couple because these I think are significant to the teams, right? I mean, Carolina signed Michael Bunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They locked up Sebastian Aho.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are 2 pretty big signings. LA, Cam Talbot. So they got.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They got a solid tendy. Dallas signed Matt Duchene.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty good. Our Kraken signed Vince Dunn, locked him up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also pretty good. But I'm going to say the best signing to me is Anaheim signing Killorn.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly, I feel like that one kind of keeps slipping. I keep forgetting that one happened, but I remember when I saw it, I was like, good for Anaheim.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Carolina signed a bunch of guys. There's been a lot of really good signings, but I really think for a team like Anaheim that needs more guys to score, like Alex Killorn is a solid forward to do that. So I think getting him and getting Goody on the back end
I forgot
is
about
solid.
him.
Now they just need to figure out what they're doing with goalies.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a little bit more to figure out, like playing defense. But
Yeah.
But I think Alex Killorn to Anaheim is probably one of the top signings.
Well, there you go. And you can be a homer on this if it's just your heart. Let your heart speak. What's been the best move of the offseason?
Shout out Sens apologist here. Corpy to Ottawa. That's just because I want them to get a goalie. I wanted Carter Hart to go to them, but that's not going to happen. Matvei Michkov falling to 7 to the Flyers. Come on. We need a sniper. We've needed one for 30 friggin' years. It's going to take 3 years for him to get over here.
Maybe 5. Maybe 5.
No, he'll be over here in 3, dude. Danny Briere's Christ. He'll be over here in 3.
Didn't I already chirp you
on
on that and say, in the 27-28 season?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, man, I've waited this long.
We can put some money on it.
I'm with that, dude. I'm with futures bets on the Flyers. I've done that before, and it's paid off so well. So, yeah, why? I mean, Insanity's doing the same thing over and over again, right, and expecting a different result. So, here we are. But
all right. Well, on the air, I'm going to say $20 says he doesn't play for the Flyers until 27-28.
So he's eligible to come over, and this is 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26. You say 27, 28?
Yep.
I'll bet you 50 he'll be suited up before then.
Okay.
Say word.
This is
Justin
recorded.
and I was like,
Say word.
This has been recorded. This will go out into the airwaves.
Well, that's okay. Even if Corey wins, I can just wait to pay him for 2 years. So it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens in the fantasy league. Yeah,
dicks.
So, exactly. Why
I
not
want my
just keep
monies.
the trend?
I don't know how close you've been paying attention to moves, V, but like, I mean, feel free to pass if you haven't paid enough attention. That's okay.
the only one that I heard about was Saucy. Yeah, he left, and I was like, oh, that was the guy I kind of liked. I don't know.
He went to
He's
Vancouver.
not too far away, though. He's a Canuck.
He's a Canuck. But yeah, that was about the only one that I knew my team wise was like a legit there.
You guys did lock up Vince Dunn, though.
Yeah.
So that's a plus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a gentle nod to my devs re-signing Timo and Brad, because I think those are big moves for the club. Locking them up, showing that we want to win. Brad earned the contract. As I said, like he cooled off at the end of the season and didn't show up in the playoffs, but that guy has been money for us for the last couple seasons, so it's only right that we paid him.
Yeah.
Let's show people that we want to win. Let's give these guys money. So that's my honorable mention. My heart, though, is going with Luke Shen to Nashville.
Oh yeah.
I love this signing for them. It on paper it looks like he's going to be top line with Yossi.
Yeah.
You've got an offensive minded guy in Yossi and a defensive minded guy in Shen.
Mm-hmm. It'd be fun to watch.
In front of Saros, their back end looks good.
Yeah.
So
Trotz is solid so far as GM of Nashville. So
yep,
no doubt.
Letting people go that may not be their top guys anymore.
Yep.
You hate to see a Duchesne go, but if you can replace him with somebody young or so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I paid so much attention to Shen in fantasy hockey this year, but I like that move a lot. So that's where I'm going. Luke Shen to Nashville.
I like it. I like it.
So we have already talked about the old EK65 a couple weeks ago on the show, but there have been rumblings that Erik Karlsson has been talking to the Kraken.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird.
There was talk that he was talking to Carolina also, but I really don't think he's going to Carolina now at this point.
Yeah, they don't have the money anymore.
I would say he's expensive.
Yeah, they don't have the money anymore. So, because Corey, you weren't here when we had that initial conversation a couple weeks ago. Do you think Erik Karlsson is a Shark when training camp starts, or is he going to be somewhere else?
I think he'll be elsewhere, man. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and this has been building for a while. The Sharks are kind of in retool, rebuild mode. Why not ship him away and get something for him? I mean, the Sharks are 2-3 years away from being anything anyway. I mean, maybe if they get hot, they could be a fringe wild card like a Nashville was this year, but it's when you've got that much money tied up in one dude. I mean, look, he had a career year this year. He was awesome, but that's not
the team wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So it's like, what good did that do by itself? He'd make more sense on a team where he'd actually be able to make a difference, like a Seattle, like a Carolina, somebody like that. So no, I don't think he is. Where he's going to go, I don't know. I think the Kraken make a lot of sense, but no, I think he's out of there, which means I'll have to buy a new Shark sweater.
Well, I want to anyway.
Yeah, same.
Hey, what's up, NHL shop? Why are the new Shark sweaters not available?
Only been a year.
With the
H. This is the NHL we're talking about. And this has been the Barn Chirpers. You can chirp us at BarnChirpers Pod on all social medias. Again, if you could like, subscribe on all streaming platforms, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're listening, 5-star, little review, that'd be great. Shout out to the Norfolk Admirals, our Norfolk Admirals. And hopefully we're doing something with them here soon. Season's right around the corner. So, you guys all set? Grab a little water. You good to go?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, stick taps and sellies, boys. Clap it up.
Clap it up, boys.
Yay.
I'm gonna hit end recording.